I'd be quite interested to get a view from you as to whether or not you've actually seen hard evidence that supports that suppliers come on board quicker because there are no supplier fees. What's your view on that?
So first off, I think our network size kind of speaks for itself on that. But to give you a detailed example, actually, we had a case of a rollout for one of our customers in Ireland where we were able to onboard the 25% of the supplier base within the first week. And I guarantee you that that is only because those suppliers, they get an offer that is extremely easy to sign up to. It's free for them, and they basically just click through. I can give you another example. That is, whenever we're working with our large customers, we always designate who are the large strategic suppliers who send the majority of the volume. Those suppliers are typically always also using an alternative solution like OB10, Ariba, or somebody else. And in those cases, our onboarding success rate right now is 100%. We have never, ever dealt with a large supplier who would not switch to Tradeshift when we offered him to just transact files in the format he was using to the Tradeshift network for free. So I think it's kind of course, self-evident that if you can start a discussion with how would you like to do this, rather having a salesperson call somebody up and trying to sell them the idea that they have to pay to invoice the customer who owes the money, that affects supplier onboarding rates. So, and we are using most of our customers, or actually all of them, actively in our sales process and letting prospective buyers to talk to them. So I know they are also confirming these stories. So that's probably the best evidence until some of my competitors, they're willing to go out and compare data head on, which I would love.
And let's just spend a bit of time talking about these larger suppliers. Is your view that they, you have like 100% success rate? I mean, are these for the integrated large suppliers that send you a file rather than just submit an invoice via a web form?
So, I mean, no matter how you create an invoice on the Tradeshift network, it's always an XML file it ends up with. So there's no difference there. But yeah, it is those kind of large integrated suppliers. And that's actually the segment where we are seeing some of the best success rates. I mean, 100% of those suppliers has converted so far. And I think that was a worry that many had to say, oh, Tradeshift works for small companies, but it works for large companies. But I think most people forget a little bit our past and what we've done before. I mean, Mikkel Hippe, who was our CTO and now is our Chief Strategy Officer, he's one of the leading global resources in XML and integrations and stuff like that. So it's something we're pretty good at.
And how do the larger suppliers feel about sending you something which is ultimately received by you in a prescriptive format, i.e. XML? Do you see that there's a bit of kickback around that, even though the service is free?
Again, we offer, I think, right now 50 different formats for the large suppliers to submit in. So we don't care. Internally in Tradeshift, we are using an open standard called UBL, which is an open XML-based standard. But as a supplier, you can, hand in your invoices in IDOC, CXML, OB10, CSV file, whatever, kind of legacy or ancient format you're using, we support it. So that's really not really a barrier for them.